на английском. So hi everyone, welcome back to our weekly Fuel Arts online art tech and NFT series. We're here to mix the two worlds together to simplify the relations between them, between the art tech community and the venture capital world. So in order to continue discovering NFTs, we are happy to present our today's guest, Alekhin, a co-founder of Snark.art, which is a blockchain laboratory exploring creative and commercial possibilities in art that includes exhibition, auction, and sales platform. Andy graduated with an MBA in marketing strategy from the University of Chicago. He created several successful Web3 businesses. He was behind technical and creative solutions for dozens of NFT artworks and collections created by prominent artists. For instance, he produced various NFT art projects working both with traditional and crypto art worlds like Random International, Eve Sussman, Michael Zhu, Nancy Baker Cahill, and many other names. Hi, Andy. Happy to meet you here.
Yeah, hello. Hi, guys. Hi, girls. I'm really glad to be here. Thanks for inviting.
Yeah, and our today's co-host, my today's co-host, as always, Sonia Stubbleby.
Hi, everyone.
Project manager of Fuel Arts. Andy, we've been meeting with you for dozens of times since 2016, the first crypto and blockchain boom at different conferences. But we've been, as you remember, we've been exchanging our vision on the current state of the art tech market. But I've never asked you the question, which I'd like to ask you now. So how was Snark.art born, and which is more interesting to me, how did you come up with the company's name?
Yeah, thank you. It's actually an interesting story. So I think it's like I came into the crypto space in 2015, 2016, when the Ethereum started and people started talking about smart contracts and the ability to actually execute on blockchain. But then I think it was in 2017, and I invested a little bit in Ethereum, and then there was this first DAO thing that actually ended up pretty bad. I don't know if you remember. I think it was in 2016. After that, this Ethereum Classic emerged. These are the experiments and blew my mind. It was really interesting. But then I saw there was an ad popped up on my screen in 2017 that there will be a blockchain and art conference in New York, and I thought, what a weird intersection, blockchain and art. What they can have in common. And I decided to go, and I thought it would be a huge conference, always in crypto, but it was just a bunch of people came together for the first time and actually started discussing the ideas of digital ownership and that you actually own something in the internet, and also that these things can be programmable. And it was so interesting and so fascinating. It blew my mind completely that the idea of the parallel universe that can actually be inside your screen, and in this universe really magical things are possible. And there were really interesting people there. There were Matt and John from CryptoPunks. They were there. I met them there. They just launched their project, and there were Joe Looney from Rare Pepe Wallet, and there were Jason Bailey, and there were guys from Rare Art Labs. that this company is not on the market anymore, but they were definitely one of the pioneers on the market with the idea of putting art on blockchain. And so I was so fascinated with this idea, and I thought that I need to be there, and I thought that this will change the world. I thought it will happen, by the way, for some reason I thought it will happen just in a few weeks. I thought it's the idea is so obvious for everyone that it will change the world very, very fast. So I was actually rushing to my friend Misha in New York and explaining him the idea and the concept. And he also thought that, yeah, there's something interesting into this. And yeah, that's how we started the company, and with the idea to actually help traditional artists to actually switch to this new medium and to create something interesting. And that's how our first project started. But back to the naming, we after first, I don't know, 2 or 3 maybe months of work, we had a small team, and so we decided that we need to come up with a name. First names they were awful, and then we decided that we need to run a voting, and every team member proposed their names, and Snark was in top 3. And the whole idea behind Snark, if you familiar with Lewis Carroll, Hunting of the Snark, it's the poem about a group of people that are going to the place that they don't know to find something that they don't understand, but maybe to have fun down the road on the way. And I thought it's kind of it's about us, and that's how Snark became our name. But then there was our designer. He said, "Guys, it would be so expensive to explain everyone that we are about art. Let's do it not Snark. Let's make it Snark.art." And yeah, so that's how Snark.art started, and that's actually what we are doing since then. Kind of trying to find new things in a very unknown territory with a great team together.
Cool. A nice summary. Thank you.
Thank you. It's very interesting to describe the name, and you basically said that it's a very vague one, so it kind of gives you a wide opportunity to do a bunch of different projects and still being inside of the mission. And if we talk about Snark.art, how would you generally describe the mission of the company? How would you put it?
Well, the mission of the company is to actually explore this new medium of crypto art, and a medium of there was in the beginning there was no this word for NFTs was not a thing. Everyone called it blockchain art. So and we immediately thought that it's not just a tool. It's not just a tool to sell your artwork. It's way more than that. This programmable layer of NFTs, this is what makes it really interesting, and the aspect of the global thing, and the ability to make projects kind of interconnected, and the allow community to participate. This is what we were interested from day one, and we are still very interested up until now. So our mission is to explore this medium, to actually explore ourselves, and to maybe to bring other artists and to invite them to join this experimentation. Where I believe that we're still all scratching the surface, and there's much more there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. I mean, I started presenting you at this particular webinar with the words that, first of all, Snark.art is a blockchain technology creative lab for art. So the idea always to create a tech lab for art, because from our research report, we know that it's all about everyone wants to become the next Lavro Labs or Dapper Labs, or Yuga Labs. So what do you mean saying your lab for art, and could you please elaborate more on that idea?
Yeah, when we started, there were no like Yuga labs or any other labs yet. But anyway, that's kind of it underlines our approach to experimentation. It allows us to try different things. Like we started with the collection 89 Seconds by Sussman, who is a digital artist, but she's more like from a traditional art world. And it was like a nice experiment with 2,304 pieces that we sold to her community, but also we created a smart contract that if you own one piece, like of a video, you can actually borrow the rest of the pieces for 24 hours and recreate the whole video. And next day you can loan your piece to somebody in the community so they can recreate the whole video. So it's an interesting mechanic that actually brings the community together. And but it's also, you can say no, that you don't want to loan these pieces. So that means that the whole video piece will be recreated with your piece missing. And this is again another interesting mechanics. Like right now we have this piece at the exhibition in Switzerland in a museum, and so some collectors refuse to loan their pieces for the exhibition. So it exhibits with several pieces missing in the video, actually pieces of a screen. There are holes in the screen that are missing, which I think it shows the for the traditional art lovers, it looks a little bit weird and ugly, but it kind of it shows what's behind it, how blockchain works and how what this ownership actually means. So it's actually I think this piece is a great conceptual piece by Sussman, but it's also a very strong commentary about what blockchain art is. And but we started with these collections, but then during the pandemic, when the artists were suffering a lot without any sales of physical items, we decided we quickly build a platform, very simple platform that allow traditional artists to actually put their art on blockchain and to sell it to get some revenue. And during the pandemic, for a couple of years, this platform was a way for them to actually make a living. And we are really proud that we brought a lot of artists, traditional artists, to the Web3 space because of this initiative. And then in 2021, we launched this OG Crystals collection, which is again very experimental, but in a slightly different angle. So it experiments with what we call dynamic NFTs, that keep changing after the sale. And this was another interesting experiment with to see to actually how to make out of passive collectors, to upgrade them to co-creators. So kind of it's actually not an easy paradigm shift, and we thought that it would be a small experiment that maybe not that many collectors would be willing to actually participate. But we were so excited with it. I know within the first week after the announcement, 5,000 people joined our Discord, and then next week another 10,000, and then we ended up with 60,000 people all excited, and we sold those crystals, more than 10,000 of them. And then there was 2-month period when the people actually were growing their crystals and shaping the collection. And a lot of these collectors still reported to us that it was the most interesting period in their NFT history. So that they felt themselves like they're artists. And we thought it's there is something into this. And I really believe that it's all that blockchain is about. It's kind of making you actively involved in the process. It could be process of selling, but it also could be process of co-creation. So yeah, this is kind of what we are about, and this kind of our lab name allows us to just experiment with many different things, and try all of them without any pressure from our naming
or investors.
Well, yeah, we're really lucky to have investors that are supporting us. So we've been profitable, which actually helps a lot, but also kind of You know, like every investor, they want, yeah, guys, what's your business model? Yeah, like, yeah, when you will be scaling. And so we will be scaling, and like we kind of with the, like right now with the dynamic NFTs, I think that we found like this like interesting niche, which is a good balance for us between art and business. And so we like for the last year, for the last 12 months, we've been building this platform for dynamic NFTs, and we just launched this platform right now with the first project. Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of hopefully it's a good balance between business and art.
Sounds great. Yeah, we're going to ask you about dynamic NFTs and about like other projects a little bit later during this webinar. And yeah, I just want to say that I absolutely loved your comment about level of involvement collectors got. And I feel like, they really got engaged in the process. And I feel that was actually lacking for a long time in the space. And if we're coming back again to blockchain, like I'm gonna give you like a very general question. How would you say what opportunities blockchain actually opens to artists?
Oh yeah, it's a good question. It's an easy question to answer. It could be, uh, but definitely it's a global audience. You know, so like it put artists to a global scale immediately. Like whether you're creating a collection or an individual art piece, like it potentially becomes visible to like everyone in the world. It actually like it's not easy. Like it's easier to say than to do because you need to have like a lot of marketing, like to get through all these buzz. But potentially with like F as a way of payment and with these global marketplaces that are there, like an artist from like rural parts of the world can become well known just in a matter of minutes. So this is like never happened with like any artist before, and I think it's great. And and the community that was built in NFT space, it's also amazing. Like I had an experience with the traditional art communities, and what I see that the NFT space actually got a lot from the startup culture, which is like very, very sport, and maybe less from an art culture. Like just they took just the best thing out of it. But like the way that like every artist and every creator like they support each other, it's amazing. You feel like home. Like in those crypto Twitter. Like when, especially if you like just like asking questions and not just trying to brag, but just, like, guys, I built this, like, what do you think? And you go like very positive and very supportive response. And if you build like something really interesting, like people make sure, to spread the word about it and to support you. This is amazing, to feel that there's a community that like actually always happy to help and to support you. Yeah, I think it's great. And the third thing is the medium itself. It provides so many opportunities and so many like things that were not possible ever before, like in digital, in physical, like anyway, it was not possible. And right now you can do like completely new things, and artists are all about experimentation, and this is provides like so many possibilities for this experimentation.
Sounds very promising to all of us.
Hello? Yes. Thank you, Andy. I mean, I should admit that this question, like, even if it sounds like a general one, like what can blockchain do or do towards arts or can offer artists, each year adds additional questions as soon as we're enriching our understanding of what blockchain can do to the art community. But let's shift from general to your recent experience. For instance, we're much interested to know more about your project called Organic Growth Crystal Reef. We've started with the question regarding the name of Snark.art, and I'm much interested in names with double meaning because I know that the shortened version of Organic Growth sounds like OG, and OG is also a simple abbreviation that is used to mean original gangster. did you keep that in mind, giving that naming to your project? I mean, for those who do not know, original gangster means a unique unit, a unique substance, a unique person with exceptional experience. So could you please elaborate more on organic growth, the Crystal Reef project?
Sure. Yeah, this the idea of the project is it's a collaboration of two great artists, Michael Zhu. He's more from traditional art world. He's a sculptor. His works are in collection of major museums like Moma and like all these like big names. Uh, and Danil Krivoruchko, who is Ukrainian-born, New York-based digitally native artist. So he worked as a digital artist and motion graphic designer for the last 20 years. And this is the idea like of the project was born when I met Michael Zhu in his studio in Brooklyn, and Michael was fascinated with crystals with all like through all his career. So he made extensive research and he knows like everything about crystals, and like crystals were involved in many of his previous work. And so we started discussing the ideas how crystals can actually live in a digital like spaces and like what can be done. And at that moment the idea of growing crystal and then growing crystals with like by like interactions actually emerged. Maybe I'll go like I'll take a step back and tell you about the logic and how the mechanics of the project. So it's actually like very simple. So when you're buying a crystal at the primary market, you're actually buying a seed. Like, and if you then it's like if you like buying a crystal and you buy a seed, and then if you sell this crystal to Sonia, then at the moment of sale, the algorithm analyzes Sonia's wallet and using the information from the wallet, like how old is the wallet, how much F is in the wallet, what other NFT collections are in your wallet. So this all data is used to actually update, to re-render the crystal and to add a new part to the crystal. So it actually crystal grows with every iteration. And so in some sense, it has identity of all its previous owners. So when you see like and this happens, the growth is not infinite. So it happens like for 7 iterations or for 2 months, like whatever happens first. So the fully grown crystal has identities of all its like 7 previous owners. So in that like visually, if you can check on OG.Crystals.com, it's like they're visually like really like interesting and unusual and really cool. So yeah, so this is like the idea of kind of adding some qualities to the crystal through the transfer of ownership that was immersed like through our conversations with Michael Zhu. But then the idea, it was back in 2019, so it was like very long time ago, but we didn't have any technical capabilities to actually execute this. And the idea was raw and we were like super busy with other projects. So this idea was like almost forgotten until like I met with Danil Krivoruchko, and we lived together in Brooklyn, like nearby. And so we have kids of the same age. So when we just met on the playground and like through the conversations, I started talking to him about this idea, and he got like really excited, and he started bring his own ideas, you know, how it can like actually be executed, how these crystals might look like. And I thought, yeah, there's something there. And so like, and I introduced Michael Zhu to Danil, and there was like a chemistry between them, and they started talking, and that's how the project actually started. Yep, so we launched this project in October 2021. It was like very successful, and the collection became fully grown in 2 months. And right now it's at the stage where there's a physical aspect of this project as well. So there's a reef and Michael Zhu, who's a sculptor, as I said. So he's building a reef right now. So he's 3D printing these all 10,000 crystals. So there's a kind of like a special mechanics like that we're developing that is kind of like bringing those crystals like together, not to print them individually because it would be like prohibitively expensive, whatever this. But yeah, so like we're in the process of building the reef. It will take, it's taken like more time than we expected initially, but like we are like Michael is on it, and hopefully like we already have like a lot of tests and a lot of like elements uh, of those reef, but hopefully yeah we'll like be able to finish it relatively soon. And we like right now in like talking to several major museums that wants to actually to have this reef in a permanent collection.
Yeah, we heard in the news, I mean, several weeks ago that Moma is gonna spend $70 million on buying some digital art into their collection. Maybe they keep your crystal reef in mind.
Yeah, I will not. I can't comment on this. Sorry.
Yeah, but well, let's say at least I announced the price. So yeah.
Right. We also want to ask you about a project after that, the OG.Art. Can you tell us more about the platform?
Yeah, so yeah, after the success of OG Crystals, we, as I mentioned, we were so fascinated with the idea of dynamic NFTs that we thought that we need to continue this. So we used the engine that we built uh, for for OG Crystals. We rebuilt it completely, and we built OGArt Platform on top of this engine. So right now we have a platform that actually allows every creator to build their own dynamic NFT collection. So, and these dynamic NFTs can react to any blockchain. So it can be react to like crystals to transactions, but it can also be like on any blockchain event. For example, what the collection that we just making right now with Space, the mechanics is slightly different. So you actually you need not to sell your item in order for item to grow. So you just hold it. So if you put it on sale, then it stops growing. But if it's like if you do nothing, then it grows at full speed. Uh, but also we quickly realized that we also can add outside triggers. So now collection can actually and NFT items can react on any event. Like it's like there are a lot of APIs in the internet, and they easily like we can easily make oracles out of that. And so like imagine that it's like technically possible on our platform to create the NFTs that changing with the phase of the moon or changing with the like weather on Mars or like any outside any real life data can be a trigger, which I think creates a like potentially like a huge field for like experimentation for artists.
Thank you, Andy. I mean, before I continue and ask you an obvious question, which comes up from what we've heard, like potential of dynamic NFTs, I'd like to ask you from the side of go-to-market strategy. Why did you decide to create a special platform, but not to do OG under the Snark.art platform or Snark.art brand? Of course, it's associated with you, but you devoted a special platform for it in terms of the website, for instance.
Yeah, that's a good question, and we had a lot of internal discussions about that. We actually want to keep Snark for like broader experiments. You know, like we want to actually keep experimenting with the field. We love what we're doing with the OGArt, and we think if it's done right and it's so far it's like it's doing like very good, it might like spin out to like to a separate entity. But we want to keep Snark as a like for like a pure experimentation. You know, like we did with Snark, we did like so many, like we did music project, Sonic project, we did performance project using blockchain. We did like so like and AI project. Like we want to keep this door open because this is what interests us the most. You know, kind of to make it to keep Snark as a more like an R&D lab for us, where we can do like a really freestyle project.
Thank you. So my actual question, which had to come next, is about the potential of dynamic NFTs. You know, recently we had a webinar with the Ukrainian-born creator based in London, Alina Gordienko. So she said that, according to her opinion, the future of NFTs is, to make NFTs multi-dimensional, multifunctional, like mixing art and music, art and cinema, art and fashion, sports, whatever. So it will be a real mixed media. And the first step of that mixed media must be, releasing NFTs from being static. So there are no more static NFTs. And let's say the first step towards the future of NFTs is to make them to finish the static essence of NFTs. So, and nowadays we see that the generative art, for instance, it goes well, and art blocks are launching these days the second version of their platform. So, getting back to the shrinking Dennis's question to a short one. So, why do you personally see a potential in dynamic NFTs?
You know, in the early days of television, when it just emerged, people thought of this medium as like very similar to theatrical plays. Like they were like mostly theatrical plays on the TV. And only with the time, you know, like people started to understand that this is something different. And then medium specific things start to emerge on television. And I think like we are having like this similar thing with NFTs. You know, the thing like that, like it started with static NFTs. It's just kind of it came from the old like physical world. You know, it was the obvious thing to do. But only right now, like people start to understand that NFTs might be different. That it's like this medium is about like it can NFTs can change, and it makes it like so much engaging and so much interesting, you know. And you can do like so many things with that, and it creates so much potential, which I believe that the dynamic NFTs will dominate the market very, very soon. And like as your previous guest said, I agree with you that it would be also like cross market, that it would be like art, but also like fashion and art. And I like what we see, like surprisingly, that the engine that we built for our art project right now is like we're working on so many pilot business projects, like that, which has nothing to do with art, but like we were doing, for example, for one client, we're doing a project with dynamic NFTs for their loyalty program. It makes so much sense for like to use NFTs for loyalty, but also like loyalty, like your parameters of loyalty, it's actually changing with the time. So it makes sense to like update your visuals and to change them. And there's like a lot of potential in gaming industry. You know, like gaming industry actively using NFTs, and again, like they would be in the gaming mechanics with all these levels and all with like activities around NFTs. There is a demand, they need to be changed. And it also creates a lot of engagement. You know, like there is a reason for you for every day to come to your wallet and to see how your NFT looks like today. And it makes you actually come back to the application, you know, and to actually to participate in it. So like we see, like, it was a little bit of a surprise for us, but we see a lot of like business applications to this approach. And I'm really interested to see, you know, where this will bring us kind of like we launched it already like as a separate entity, OG Protocol, with like ogprotocol.com, and this is kind of like we're trying to offer, and we're offering it as like a B2B solution for brands and for other companies. And another thing is like potentially it's a metaverses. You know, like you see that in metaverses that we have right now, like Decentraland, like most of the trees are the same, which I think it's a shame. You know, like it shouldn't be like that. Like it's not too complicated to make trees really generative and unique. But you can do more than that. You can actually make your like objects in those metaverses to react on any events. You know, like it could be, I don't know, it could get rainy in the Decentraland when the price of crypto goes down, or it could be, you know, like some other interesting things, you know, that you can build on top of it. So I believe that the application of the dynamic NFTs is huge, you know. So it's a really big thing.
So you mean that the, let's say, dynamic art has a close relation with gamify, if I understood you correctly?
Yeah. So it's a kind of
the nature. They have one nature.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of it's somewhere in between of the like traditional art and gaming, you know. So it's kind of moving like to the gaming universe. Like in gaming, all people actively participate in the process, and that was and the like we use a lot of gaming mechanics in our project, and this is what we offer into artists. It's like so we kind of we use creativity of the gaming industry, which is huge right now, and they have like a lot of experience, and they have like best practices, and they have like interesting models that work. And so we're offering this like to artists and saying like, yeah, guys, let's try this one. Let's like this already works. Like let's maybe like do it like artistically interesting and deep and conceptually strong, but like in the core, like we can use this mechanism.
Thank you.
Thank you. I actually wanted to ask you also another general question. What do you believe is actually the influence of NFTs on the art industry overall? Because we talked about blockchain, now you touched different, like you touched gaming and other industries, and I want to know your perspective. What is actually the influence on the art world?
Yeah, like when I'm talking about art world, is like you probably need to split like the art market and artists themselves, and these are like some like and for the artist, blockchain is, as we already discussed, it's a new opportunities. For the art world, it for many years it was slightly different. Like art world like refuses to actually notice NFT for like many years, for like 3 or 4 years. They kept like an eye on it, but they never like you never like none of the like big projects was admitted to any major exhibitions or anything. But then instead, this NFT community, they build their own market. They build their own stars. They build their own auction houses. They build their own marketplaces. And they grew like so big, then art market started paying attention. And so like since 2021, you will see that Christie's, Sotheby's, like big auction houses, and like ArtNet, and even Artsy following them, you know, like they started actually implementing NFTs. Uh, I mean, it's good that they start doing this, but I'm a little bit upset that they kind of they were like a little bit snobbish in the beginning, you know, like
Okay, thank you, Andy. You know, another guest of our webinar several months ago was Ariel Hudis, the head of Verso, a new NFT marketplace launched by one of the top brick and mortar physical art galleries. So, but now we know that you've reached. You're now collaborating with Verso, so there is a strong link between Verso and OG.Art. So could you please more tell us about our about your collaboration?
Yeah, we worked with Ariel quite close for the last few months. So this is the project that it's the first project on the new platform. It's a project by Random International, and it's collaboration of Random International with Danil Krivoruchko, the artist that we already worked with before. And the name of the project is Life in Our Minds, or LIO, and it's visually beautiful, and it's it explores the idea of like it's a main idea of Random International. Uh, they've been working on this flocking behavior for many years, and it's another step in exploring this idea, but in a completely digital space. So the idea of the project is again like relatively simple. Like people will be purchasing like a small flocks, like flock of birds, but there will be like this will be not birds, but like origami type birds. So you can buy a flock of like 7 or 8 or maybe 10 birds that are like constantly moving. So like actually you're buying like a flying flock, but by doing some actions, you can actually grow your flock. There would be like more and more birds involved. The movement of these birds will be more and more complex, and these birds will be the colors will become more like rich and change. Again, the influence, the color palette and the movement of the flock will be influenced by your wallet, yeah, what other collections you have, and this would be like the main driver of the chain. But it's more than that. There would be also a mother flock, which is actually all small flocks brought together. And I don't know if I can share my screen here, but I can, yeah, happy to show how it like all this looks like. I don't know, can I?
Our tech team will do that for you now.
Okay. Yeah. So, and again, this is it further explores the idea of first dynamic NFTs, because this is something that like collectors will be growing, but also it explores the idea of individual versus collective. You have your own NFT and you grow it like to make it as like to fit like as good as you can, but also like there's you're actually doing good for the rest of the community, and the mother flock, this collective digital sculpture, gets better and more interesting, and the movement of this sculpture actually is influenced by your individual movement and your individual activity.
And is the project already out, or is it still in process right now?
So we announced this project, and the sale will be on the 25th of October. Yeah, we got like very nice coverage from like all media, and like we got like a lot of interest already. There's like also like implemented an interesting mechanics for the wait list. That's it. We want to have like the best community possible. So like it's not that you only need to add yourself to the wait list, but also you need to do like several challenges. And if you came through those challenges successfully, then you have the right to actually participate in the sale.
So it's very engaging again. Someone needs to go through challenges and get the access.
Exactly.
Andy, the tech team says that because of the recent updates on the platform which we're using for online streaming, there is no current opportunity, unfortunately, to show your particular screen. But you can type let's say you can send the address, and we'll spread it between all the viewers, and it will be in the comments to these video which is streamed online on 6 resources. I mean, it always happens. It's a very tough way from Web 2 to Web 3. So this is one of the cases why we can't share the screen.
Yeah, so it's OG.Art. It's yeah, you can check this project there. I like it a lot, and I think it's like visually interesting and conceptually deep, and I like artists a lot. So yeah, really looking forward for this like growth period. The growth period will be for the for 100 days. So like during these 100 days, collectors will be growing their NFTs. And as I mentioned earlier, the idea is like to grow. In order to grow, you need to do two things. First of all, not to put your item on sale, and second, maybe to add couple partner NFT collections to your wallet. So to make like your covers of your NFT like really unique and your patterns really unique. So we partnered with Flamingo DAO, we partnered with Moonbirds and Proof Collective, we partnered with Bbeats. So if you have like, and then with like many other collections. So like right now I think it's about 15 collections. So like if you like want to put one or two or maybe all of those NFTs into your wallet, then you will have very unique leoms that probably only you will have. But you also cheated a little bit. So like, for example, if you like CryptoPunk, if you own a CryptoPunk, then, and if you put it in your wallet, then you will have like a special like leom that is have like this CryptoPunk feeling. But CryptoPunks are expensive. So what we did, we allow if you can buy a crystal from our previous collection with a CryptoPunk trade, it actually will act exactly as a CryptoPunk. So you don't need to buy an expensive CryptoPunk. You can buy just a CryptoPunk crystal, and it will act exactly the same way.
You have a very good PA, so she already contacted our business development manager, so they will show us some use case of your platform. So it's all about people. People are more important than the technology, and that's really good news because it's all about communication. Meanwhile, while we're waiting for the screenshot, so could you please tell us what's your take on the current bearish market trend and what would be your forecast for the next year? Oh, this is the crystal.
This is the leom. It's actually Can you maybe like on which page you are? It's actually should move. That's the
it will not move.
Okay.
Static one.
Okay, yeah, but it's actually
the dynamic NFTs. Yeah, it will move on the website, so we're welcoming everyone to visit.
It's moved on. Yeah, this is another like what a technical challenge, because what we're actually doing with this project, it's a generative animation. So like animation actually like regenerates at every step, and it added a lot of complexity to the project, but we did it. So like it's actually like another thing that like no one did ever before. But yeah, coming to your question about the current market. I mean, it's tough, but it's good, but that's like we see that good projects are still selling out. So there is still demand. The competition is way higher. But I believe that this is our time right now, when the high quality project that make a difference, that they can actually stand out. So we'll see like on the sale on the 25th. But I feel like really confident, with the community, with the initial demand, with the media attention. It's kind of, I mean, I like the bear market slightly more than this like roller coaster of this that we had in 2021. You actually have time to build really complicated projects, and they will find their audience. Definitely not like tens of thousands of pieces. The communities are smaller now, but they are, and people like the real collectors are there, which I think is really cool. In terms of how long it will take, I don't know. There's like sometimes I'm like, when I get depressed and like keep reading the news that, you know, like all this crypto bubble, like probably like was mostly influenced by the low rates of the Federal Reserve, and NFTs are just droids on top of this bubble, you know, like, and which I think is an interesting art itself, you know, but the bubble is like getting smaller and the federal rates are going higher and they will not go down within the next several years. So there is a cool down. Will this cool down be until the zero, you know, when the whole industry will stop functioning? No, I don't believe in that. But it will actually make, like, it will be smaller, but I believe and I hope that there will be like way more really high quality projects instead of just like CryptoPunk copycats.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
have
The audience respects your vision.
Thank you. Thank you.
And also, yeah, thank you, Massimo, for your approval that on the website it's moving. Yes, we agree. On the website it's moving. Sure, as it should be.
Yeah, and we have the last question, which is our traditional question that we ask all our guests. So what would be your top 3 tips for young startup founders who are just entering the space?
Well, first of all, like there's a in the success of the on this market, like involved a lot of luck. So not everything depends on you. A lot depends on you, but luck is involved. So it actually means that you need to keep trying. You know, like you need to do a lot of attempts. If you did it once and you fail, then you just need to do it for the second time. So, and that's the way to success. So, like some people got lucky from the first time, some people got lucky like on the like 20th time. But it actually like if you did it like 20 times, then you definitely like will succeed. You're learning with every mistake. You just need like keep doing it. And yeah, this is my biggest advice. And then the second is there's also kind of like a balance between going to the business direction and to the like art direction, kind of like art versus money. And it's tough, you know, it's tough, you know, like investors pushing you into one direction, like your soul and like your team pushing you into another direction. So like to keep the right balance, it's not easy, and but it's essential. So it's very, very important. Yeah, so I might stay with those two, you know.
Thank you.
2 tips, but spoken from the deep of your heart, are better than 3, just, you know, which are
Cool.
communicated on a regular basis. Like, okay, I'll respond now. So thank you for being fair with us. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for inviting me. Thank you.
Yes, we're looking forward to see great projects from OG, keeping in mind that original gangsters. Yes, the abbreviation of this term, meaning something unique, and looking forward to your success and to the new platforms, to the new market strategies. And we're all in the same boat, so we trust in our tech, we trust in digital, we trust in physical, and moving forward to reach the next riverbank of the high market.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.